Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wulandari SriWahyuni. I am a member of third group. I will be the first deliverer of the material about community language learning. The first is introduction. Community language learning disebut juga sebagai counseling learning adalah salah satu contoh dari penerapan konsep psikoterapi dalam pengajaran bahasa yang akan dipelajari seperti bahasa Inggris, Jepang, Indonesia, and else. Penemu dari metode community language learning adalah Charles Curran, yang mana menurut beliau, guru itu harus bertugas sebagai counselor and a knower. Konselor di sini adalah untuk sebagai mengatasi masalah psikologi anak, dan knower di sini adalah untuk menambah wawasan terhadap anak-anak atau murid yang tadinya belum tahu menjadi tahu dan mengerti. The method, the community language learning method, is advise the teacher to consider their student as a whole person, yang artinya guru tidak hanya memperhatikan perasaan dan kepandaian siswa, tapi juga hubungan dengan sesama siswa dan hasrat untuk belajar. Jadi, guru tidak hanya memperhatikan satu aspek saat mengajar, tapi juga harus memperhatikan berbagai aspek seperti hasrat untuk belajar, hubungan sesama siswa dengan siswa yang lainnya, maupun siswa dengan gurunya. It means that the teacher consider not only their student intellect, but they also have some understanding of the relationship among student feelings, physical reaction, instinctive protective reaction, and desire to learn. The next is the role of the teacher and student in community language learning. In this method, the teacher have a role as a counselor, but this doesn't mean that the teacher as a therapist or the teacher doesn't teaching at all. It's wrong. But the learners are very dependent upon the teacher. The teacher focus not only on the language, but also on being supportive of learners in their learning process. If a teacher as a counselor and then meanwhile the student in this method is a client, wise client, agar hubungan antara guru dan siswa ibarat seorang pembimbing dan kliennya. Jadi hubungannya itu sebagai seorang pembimbing, counselor and client yang membutuhkan si pembimbing. Metode ini hampir sama, it seems closer with silent way and suggestopedia. Karena metode ini percaya bahwa siswa yang mampu menggunakan kemampuan mental dan pikirannya secara maksimal tentu akan mendapatkan hasil belajar yang maksimal juga. The next material will be explained by my friends.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Maulidina Azahra. So in this occasion, I want to continue to explain the material about the goals of teachers who use the community language learning method. Okay, so the goals of teachers who use the community language learning method is because they want their students to learn how to use the target language communicatively. In addition, they want their students to learn about their own learning, to take increasing responsibility for it, and to learn how to learn from one another. All of these objectives can be accomplished in a non-defensive manner in the teacher and learners. Treat each other as whole persons, valuing both thought and feelings. Sasaran dalam penggunaan metode CLL ini yaitu pembelajaran dilakukan berdasarkan pada kesulitan siswa, sehingga tujuan dari pembelajaran itu sendiri adalah untuk membangun hubungan komunikasi dan menghilangkan ketakutan dalam diri siswa saat ia mempelajari bahasa target. Oleh karena itu, metode pembelajaran CLL bertujuan agar para siswa dapat belajar bagaimana cara menggunakan bahasa target atau bahasa yang dipelajarinya secara komunikatif. So, in next discussion of this material, there is advantage of this method. The first is works well with lower level students who are struggling in spoken English. The second is lower students' anxiety and overcome threatening effective filter. The third is it creates a warm, sympathetic, and trusting relationship between teacher and learners. And next, counselors always the learners to determine type of conversation. And the last is train students to become independent. Adapun kelebihan dalam metode pembelajaran CLL ini, antara lain guru tidak memakai teks atau alat peraga apapun dan guru mengizinkan siswa untuk menentukan jenis percakapan dan menganalisis bahasa asing secara induktif sehingga membuat siswa menjadi lebih mandiri serta menciptakan hubungan yang hangat, simpatik, dan saling percaya antara guru dengan peserta didik. Every time there is an advantage, there must also be a disadvantages in it. So, the disadvantages of this method include the first is some learners find it difficult to speak on tape. The second is in order for students to become independent, teacher might neglect the need for guidance. The third is teacher has to be highly proficient in the target language and in the language of students. The fourth is translation is an intricate and difficult task. The fifth is the success of this method relies largely on the counselor's translation. And the last is it is time consuming to carry out. Adapun kelemahan pada metode ini yaitu pada awalnya siswa akan sangat bergantung pada guru, sehingga guru harus memiliki keahlian atau kemahiran dalam berbahasa target dan juga bahasa siswa, sehingga guru harus mempunyai energi ekstra baik fisik maupun psikis. Oleh karena itu, kesuksesan daripada metode CLL ini sebagian besar tergantung pada keahlian terjemahan guru.
Hello everyone, my name is Novi Nadia Hasna. So this is my turn to explain about principle of communicative language learning. So the first is building a relationship with and among student is very important. Jadi di sini sangat penting untuk membangun hubungan antara guru dan siswa. Contohnya seperti guru menyapa siswanya, guru memperkenalkan diri pada siswanya, dan siswa pun memperkenalkan diri. And then the second is a new learning experience can be thrilling. Students feel more secure when they have an idea of what will happen in each activity. People learn non-defensively when they feel secure. Jadi di sini siswa bisa saja merasa terancam dengan pengalaman belajar baru, dan sebaiknya guru memberitahu siswa kita akan belajar conversation hari ini, atau hari ini kita akan belajar tentang musik atau lagu, seperti itu. And then the third is the superior knowledge and power of the teacher can be threatening. If the teacher doesn't remain in the front of the classroom, the threat is reduced and the students' learning is facilitated. Jadi di sini siswa bisa saja merasa terancam karena pengetahuan guru yang banyak atau yang sudah berwawasan, dan karena guru tetap berada di depan kelas, itu juga bisa membuat siswa merasa terancam. Jadi sebaiknya sesekali guru berada di belakang kelas. Dan ini bisa memupuk interaksi antara siswa dan siswa, tidak hanya guru dan siswa. And then the next is the teacher should be sensitive to student level on confidence and give them just what they need to be successful. Jadi di sini guru harus lebih peka terhadap siswa yang percaya diri, Misalnya ada siswa yang ingin mengatakan sesuatu tapi tidak tahu untuk mengartikannya. Di sini guru berperan untuk bisa mengartikan apa yang akan siswa sampaikan. And then the next is teacher and student are whole person, sharing about their learning experience. Learns to get to know one another and to build community. Jadi di sini guru dan siswa saling berbagi pengalaman. Contohnya guru menanyakan pada siswa pengalaman apa yang kalian rasakan selama belajar percakapan, misalnya seperti itu. And then the last is the teacher counsels the students. He doesn't offer advice, but rather shows them that he is really listening to them and understand what they are saying. Jadi di sini guru tidak asal menasihati siswa, tapi di sini guru benar-benar mendengarkan apa yang mereka katakan, memahami perasaan mereka. Dengan begitu, guru dapat membantu siswa untuk memperoleh ke dalam proses pembelajaran. And the next material is the characteristic of communicative language learning. The first is students typically have a conversation using their native language. The second is the teacher helps them express what they want to say by giving them the target language translation. And the third is these words are recorded, and when they are replayed, it sounds like a very fluid conversation. For later, a transcript is made of conversation, and native language equivalents are written beneath the target language words. 5. The transcription of the conversation becomes a text with which student works. 6. Various activities are conducted. For example, examination of a grammar point, working on pronunciation of a particular phrase, or creating a new sentence with words from the transcript. That allows students to further explore the language they have generated. And 7. During the course of the lesson, students are invited to say how they feel, and it return the teacher understand them.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Putri Dwi Nurjanah. Here I will explain about how is evaluation accomplished and how do teacher respond to student error. Okay, for first material, how is evaluation accomplished? Although no particular mode of evaluation is prescribed in the community language learning method, whatever evaluation is conducted should be in keeping with the principle of the method. Jika misalnya sekolah mengharuskan siswanya mengikuti ujian di akhir mata pelajaran, maka guru akan memastikan bahwa siswanya cukup siap untuk mengikuti ujian tersebut. And also, a teacher-made classroom test would likely be more of an integrative test than a discrete point one. Siswa akan diminta untuk menulis paragraf atau diberikan wawancara lisan daripada diminta untuk menjawab pertanyaan yang hanya berhubungan dengan satu poin bahasa pada satu waktu. Finally, it is likely that the teacher would encourage their student to self-evaluate, to look at their own learning, and to become aware of their own progress. Jadi seperti seorang guru memberikan kesempatan kepada siswanya untuk melakukan introspeksi diri seperti itu. And then for second material, how do teacher respond to student error? Teacher should work with what the learner has produced in a non-threatening way. Salah satu cara untuk melakukan Hal ini adalah guru mengatur ulang kesalahan siswa, yaitu mengulang dengan benar apa yang dikatakan siswa secara tidak benar, tanpa menarik perhatian lebih jauh pada kesalahan tersebut. And last one, technique depend on where the student are in the 5-stage learning process, but are consistent with sustaining a respectful non-defensive relationship between teacher and student. Jadi intinya, guru dan siswa harus memiliki kedekatan layaknya sahabat, dan guru dapat memberikan nasihat kepada siswa agar terjalin hubungan yang baik dan saling menghormati. Maybe enough from our group. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.